Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Thursday, the 1st of July, 2021, and we're carrying out our regular morning update on the news, financials, and gold and silver prices. And we can see already that gold and silver have strengthened this past 24 hours. But we ask, for how long? Perhaps until Friday's Nonfarm payroll report comes out. We also look at headlines that the UK Chancellor of the Exchequer intends today to transform financial services to make London and the United Kingdom the go-to place for investment. So let's take a look. Good morning, this wonderful Thursday morning, and again the sun is shining at 10:12 a.m. GMT +1. We're going for our regular Thursday barrage walk. Yes, on a Thursday we walk around the local barrage area for about 2 hours, grab a cup of coffee and a little carrot cake en route. So any calories lost during the walk are rapidly regained. So let's have a look at what's happening on Bloomberg this morning. So we're going to be as quick as we can. UK to set out ambitious vision for the City of London. Ambitious vision. Well, part of the reason for this is simply because having come out of the European Union, there have been concerns about London, formerly one of the major centres for not only commerce, but for financial services, perhaps only outshadowed by Wall Street. We seem to have been losing ground, with a number of key banks setting up additional offices and headquarters in other parts of the European Union. So basically, what is this new ambitious vision, we ask? And it says, Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rishi Sunak, will promise to bolster the UK finance industry's competitive edge for decades to come on Thursday, the latest move by the UK government to champion a sector that it largely ignored during Brexit. The country's finance minister will outline an ambitious vision for the reforming financial services as part of his annual speech at Mansion House on the state of the UK economy, according to a statement. Yes, each year, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, the head of our finance, attends what's called the Mansion House. The Treasury will publish a roadmap fleshing out the proposals later Thursday. The aim is to sharpen our competitive advantage in financial services. It's a plan to make this country the world's most advanced and exciting financial services hub for decades to come, creating prosperity at home and projecting our values abroad. Well, we shall wait and see what he declares. Okay, Eastern Europe is racing to use COVID shots before they expire. Bailey says Bank of England, that's the governor, shouldn't overreact to temporary inflation jump. In other words, suggesting we shouldn't necessarily raise rates yet. Europe stocks rise with US futures, Asia slips. We'll have a quick look at that. UK Golden Visa firm files for insolvency following FCA ban. That's our regulatory body. Ray Dalio and Lawrence Summers keep sounding the alarm on inflation. Now, we have a lot of respect for Ray Dalio because, obviously, let's be candid, he hasn't gained his wealth through stupidity. But that said, he has over the years tended to be somewhat of an alarmist. And yes, we will admit, inflation is rising and to a large extent is hidden in terms of the figures that are revealed to the public. Not assume under any circumstances that the central banks are going to adopt the measures that he recommends or that he is foreshadowing are going to be adopted. Certainly not as quickly as he is anticipating. Going over to the BBC, UK's furlough scheme starts to wind down. Nissan, one of our car companies, announces major UK electric car expansion. And the reason for this is that we have said that by 2030, the UK will no longer produce any cars other than electric. Okay, we shall see what happens there. A little bit about Britney's father retains control over her life. She's obviously still in crisis mode. What's happening in the United States? Well, hundreds of sudden deaths in Canada heat wave. Yes, the Media still pressing on about the heatwave in Canada. Whether this is alarmist or whether this is actually happening, we don't know for sure because we're not in Canada, but there does seem to be some serious concerns there. Trump Organization indicted in tax probe reports. A little bit ahead of time. They're about to be indicted, apparently, later today. And ex-US Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld dies at 88. And I think that's about it. So what's been happening then to the dollar and to the markets in general? Let's have a look. Well, the dollar has strengthened. If you recall, yesterday it was just about marginally above 92. It's now 92.5. And we'll explain part of the reason for that in a second. Nevertheless, despite the strengthening of the dollar, crude oil prices are up 0.94 cents and 0.95 cents of WTI and Brent crude. We've said they're trying to get that up to 80. It's a scandal, but there we go. That's life, unfortunately. US markets yesterday closed broadly up, except for the Nasdaq, but Nasdaq has been on a tear anyway. The Dow Jones up 210, S&P up 5, Nasdaq down 24. Not earth-shattering, but holding very close, again, to all-time highs. Europe is faring better, which suggests that perhaps the American market will open up a little. Europe and the UK, we're up broadly 1% across the board, and Asia-Pacific overnight were broadly down 0.25% across the board. Now, some interesting economic data published yesterday. We said look out for the ADP report, and as we can see, 692,000 jobs were declared for the month of June, new jobs. Now, many people may be thinking, that's not very good when you consider it was 886 the month before. Now, this 886 figure is slightly deceiving because it was originally 978, but they actually had to downgrade it for greater accuracy. Because when these figures are announced, they are then double-checked afterwards and are often amended. So why is 692 a good figure when the previous month was 886? Well, the answer is expectations were between 550, which is the median average, and 600. And so this now bodes well for the non-farm payrolls on Friday. Now, we've said this time and time again. Just because the ADP report may be good does not necessarily mean the non-farm payrolls will be good, except the majority of the time. It's not 100%. It wasn't the other month. But the majority of the time, it is generally a good signal. And the forecast at the moment ranges between whom you ask amongst the economic field for this figure to be somewhere around 706 at the top end and 690 at the bottom end. So as long as the figures are reported in that 690 to 706, that will be what markets are expecting. Anything above that, of course, is going to have a considerable downward effect on gold and silver prices because it will show that the economy is far more robust, which may bring the tapering of the Fed's bond buying into effect sooner rather than later. And if it's considerably lower, then that may act as a tailwind for gold prices. We also had the Chicago PMI at 66.1, which again was quite positive, even though it was down on the previous month. But pending home sales, 8%. Huge rise in May. Huge. And this backs up the consumer confidence the day before. So we've got today initial jobless claims. Let's look at that. If that's improving, along with our ADP report, if that's positive, then we could be looking to some very serious headwinds against gold and silver. The market manufacturing PMI and the ISM manufacturing PMI, critically important, and construction spending, important too. To vehicle sales as well. A lot of data today and important data tomorrow. So we're going to see some movement, and we'll have a look. We have seen a little bit of positive movement in gold and silver already. So on that note, let's take a look. Gold, $1,775 currently On a 24-hour basis, it's up $17, which is great news. Looking at it compared to the start of the week, however, it was at 17.82. So it's dropped 60 cents. So it's $8 down. Why do I need help? Starting to come up, need help? So it's come $8 down since Friday's close. But a nice improvement compared to its low on Tuesday. Now, generally, the view amongst technical analysts is that if gold should fall below 1750, then we will be regarded to be in a downtrend. If it goes above 1907, which is a fair distance from its current level, then we will be regarded as having reached the uptrend once again. And anything in between is technically consolidation. So where are we with gold in terms of predictions? Well, generally the market thinks it's going to sort of have some resistance at 1835. Obviously 1800 will be a psychological barrier. 1835 above that, 1855 above that, and then 1900 and 1907 to 1919 there. On the downside, we've got 1750. And then falling below that is almost a jump down to 1733. But before 1750, you've got 1762. This is what all the technicals come out at. Really, they're not, from our point of view, that important. The key figures for us are 1750 and 1700. But in between it's 1762 and 1733 and 1750 in the middle. Short-term resistance, we're at that level now. So if it goes above this level, 1774, 1775, then that may be a little bit positive. And then all of a sudden, that figure becomes support. However, looking at the MACD and the other metrics, generally they are still suggesting consolidation. Let's look at silver. Silver's done better. In the last 24 hours, we're up 42 cents and we're above 26 again, thank goodness, at 26.23. But we'll remember last week it seemed to have hit that figure and bounced downwards again. Looking at it, so at 26.23, looking at it compared to Friday's close, we are above it. It's gone down now. Every time we look, it goes down. It's gone down to 26.21. We are above it by some 7 cents. Not earth-shattering, but interesting. Short-term support, 25.92, going down to 25.50 and then 25.25. Resistance, 26.54. If we can get past that, we're on the way to $17. Very quickly, today Bitcoin is actually down $1,200 at 34,973. It has been as high as 36 and as low as just touching just above $34,000. A quick shout out to some videos we produced yesterday, our Wednesday morning gold and silver update. But this is the key one we'd like you to take note of. Russia raising rates, will gold and silver prices go lower? And India buying crypto rather than gold and silver, why? Now, we mentioned yesterday that we were changing the Richard and Greg channel. And we have done that now, and we have changed it to Crypto Plus. The old videos will remain on the channel for a short while, so if you haven't seen them, then please, by all means, go and listen to them. We got the future mentioned, what's happening to the BBC, interview the IT security expert. But in the next few days, we shall be putting our crypto, DeFi, investment videos up, hopefully on a daily basis, but certainly 5 times a week. And that will start in the next 2 days. We'll put a link to that channel below. Thank you so much for listening. Please, if you like what we're doing each day, give us a thumbs up. By all means, do subscribe if you haven't done so already and press the bell sign so you're notified of our videos, because YouTube, sometimes we actually get notification of our own videos a day and a half after we actually publish them, which is rather annoying. So, thumbs up, share if you can, but by all means do comment as well. That's it. We're off to the barrage. Disclaimer. Illuminati silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, We are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.